Not guilty of...
A security guard rescued a woman who was about to be hit by a train, but the incident was ultimately classified as misconduct. The surveillance camera captured the moment when 32-year-old Jacob saved Sarah. At that time, Sarah was only looking at her phone and didn't notice the train coming at all. At the critical moment, with only a few seconds left in the impact, Jacob quickly rushed forward to grab her and pulled her to a safe zone. His decisive action saved Sarah's life. However, the next day, Salafi did not express gratitude and instead reported the case to the police. She claimed that Jacob's behavior was inappropriate and violated her personal space. Her lawyer even argued that even in emergency situations, no one has the right to touch others without permission and demanded compensation of $2,000. This incident has sparked strong anger among the local people, and many have strongly supported Jacob, calling him a hero who saved lives and should not be punished. Surprisingly, the local judge stated that there could have been a better way to handle it, and he could have given a verbal warning instead of directly engaging in physical contact. Despite recognizing Jacob's good intentions, the judge ultimately ordered him to pay $100,000 in compensation. This verdict has been widely criticized and considered extremely unfair. What do you think? Welcome to share your views in the comment section.
This guy jumped into a stranger's car to save a baby's life, but the mother sued him for breaking her window. The judge's reaction shocked everyone.
Your Honor, the baby was locked inside that car on a hot afternoon and was crying and struggling to breathe. I tried opening the door, but it was locked. I broke the window to save her baby's life, and now she's suing me for helping?
Your Honor, I was only inside the store for a few minutes. My car was locked and the baby was sleeping when I left. He had no right to smash my window without permission, and the repair cost me a lot of money, and he should be responsible.
Ma'am, leaving a baby locked inside a car on a hot day is extremely dangerous and irresponsible. This man acted quickly to protect your child's life. Instead of thanking him, you sued him. The court will not reward that behavior. You will pay him $1,000, all court fees, and issue a formal apology.
Not guilty of...
He jumped their fence and pulled their 4-year-old out of the pool. The child was drowning and he saved her life. Then the parents sued him for trespassing. The judge lost it.
I was in my backyard when I heard screaming. I looked over and saw that 4-year-old daughter face down in the pool. Nobody else was outside. I jumped the fence and pulled her out. She wasn't breathing. I did CPR until she started coughing up water. By the time the ambulance came, she was breathing on her own. Paramedics said if I waited even another minute, she would have died. And now they're suing me for $15,000 for trespassing and emotional distress.
Mr. Johnson entered our property without permission. He had no right to be there. We have a security system, and he triggered it. He could have called 911 instead of taking matters into his own hands. Furthermore, his actions caused my daughter to have bruised ribs from the CPR. We had to pay for medical treatment. The trauma of having a stranger on our property has been extremely difficult for our family.
Mrs. Sterling, are you seriously suing the man who saved your daughter from drowning because he didn't wait for permission to enter your property?
He had other options, Your Honor. He should have...
He should have what? Let your 4-year-old drown while he knocked on your door, called 911, and watched her die while waiting for an ambulance? Are you listening to yourself right now? Your daughter is alive because this man risked himself to save her. And you're complaining about bruised ribs from CPR? That's what happens when someone saves your life. This is the most disgusting, ungrateful lawsuit I've seen in 20 years on the bench. Case dismissed with prejudice. You'll pay his legal fees. And frankly, you should be thanking him every single day.
What if doing the right thing could cost you everything? What if saving a life could land you in court? Today, we are driven into a troubling reality cases where people use their judgment, their humanity, their discretion to help others in difficult moments and end up being punished for it. This is true verdict. Sit down, relax, as we break it down. Special credits to us teaching video used in this documentary.
Marcus buys groceries for his 78-year-old neighbor every week for free. She can't drive to the store. The mayor personally came and arrested him. The elderly woman filmed it on her phone and posted it online. 4 million people watched.
Your Honor, I'm 78. I can't drive to the grocery store anymore. Marcus shops for me every week and won't take money. The mayor personally came and arrested him. I filmed it on my phone and posted it online. 4 million people saw the mayor arrest someone for helping me eat.
Your Honor, Mrs. Miller can't shop. I buy her groceries once a week. Milk, bread, medicine. I don't charge her. It's free. I help my elderly neighbor. The mayor himself came and arrested me. He said helping her made him look bad because the city doesn't provide services.
Your Honor, yes, I ordered it. I'm running for re-election. He made me look incompetent on camera. 4 million people saw that I can't even feed seniors. That video destroyed my poll numbers. I had to stop him. It's politics. He was damaging my campaign.
You arrested a man for feeding a 78-year-old woman to protect your image. That's tyranny. Charges dropped. Mayor, you're stripped of authority. The city council will vote on your removal. This court supports a recall election.
You fired her for feeding a hungry child? What is wrong with you people?
A school cafeteria worker was fired for giving free food to a child who couldn't afford lunch. But the ending was deeply satisfying. 52-year-old Lindsay Tuckman worked as a cafeteria lady at an elementary school. Every day, a large amount of food was left over, and it all had to be thrown away. One day, she noticed a third-grade student named Adam. He came to the cafeteria every day, but he would only eat a small piece of bread. After talking with him, Lindsay learned that Adam's parents had passed away and he was living with his grandmother. His grandmother survived on a very small government assistance check, and Adam often went hungry because he simply couldn't afford food. So Lindsay decided to help the poor child. Every day, she packed a small portion of the leftover food that was going to be thrown away and gave it to Adam. But when the school found out, they fired Lindsay immediately. The school claimed that giving away food for free was a violation of policy.
You fired her for feeding a hungry child? What is wrong with you people? This is wrongful termination. You will compensate her and reinstate her immediately.
In the end, the judge ruled that the termination was overturned and ordered the school to provide free meals to students in need. Do you think this ruling was fair?
A man saved a girl who was about to be hit by a car, but was later sued for $800,000. A little girl crossed the road. When he was about to return, 24-year-old Jonathan Anderson and his girlfriend noticed a car speeding towards the intersection. The girl instinctively wanted to grab Jonathan, but he didn't hesitate for a moment and rushed forward to pull the girl away. Lucy Anaxi, the girl, was saved from the accident. Jonathan immediately called 911 and took the girl to the hospital for examination. The doctor found that Lucy's right arm had been fractured due to being pulled forcefully. To Jonathan's shock, a few days later, he received a lawsuit from the girl's mother. She claimed that although Jonathan saved Lucy, his reckless rescue action caused the child's injury and demanded a compensation of $800,000. Jonathan's defense lawyer said that at that time, the pickup truck was only a few seconds away from them. He had no time to think. Currently, the case is still under trial. If you were the girl's mother, would you sue the person who saved her?
My ankle. Okay, let's get you up. Ready? Lean on me. Okay.
A young man was accused of sexual harassment and sued for $250,000 after helping a woman who fell down a staircase. According to surveillance footage, 28-year-old Jessica Turner missed a step while going downstairs and lost her balance, falling backward. At that moment, Daniel Brooks, who happened to be near the stairway, quickly stepped forward and caught her, preventing more serious injury. There was no dispute between the two at the time of the incident. However, 2 days later, Jessica filed a lawsuit. Her attorney argued that Daniel made physical contact without her consent, causing bruising on her shoulder and emotional distress, which constituted inappropriate behavior and a violation of personal boundary. Jessica stated that she had simply been walking downstairs normally, but was startled by Daniel's sudden appearance, which caused her to lose balance. She also claimed that she felt violated during the physical contact and has since suffered ongoing psychological distress, seeking $250,000 in compensation. Daniel denied the allegations, saying he was just passing by and instinctively tried to help when she fell, with no other intent. His lawyer also pointed out that surveillance footage shows there was no contact between the two before the fall. The case is still under review. What do you think?
This farmer fixed a broken rural bridge so the school bus could pass safely. The Department of Transportation destroyed the bridge and fined him $10,000 for interfering with public infrastructure. Watch the judge's reaction.
Your Honor, the defendant altered a public structure without authorization from the Department of Highways. Bridges have safety standards. They require an engineer, inspection, and approval. Good intentions don't put anyone above building codes. We apply the fine according to the law.
Your Honor, 3 of my grandchildren cross this bridge every day to catch the school bus. When the bridge broke, The bus stopped running and the children started walking 2 miles because the government wouldn't build a new one. I just wanted my grandchildren to get to school safely. So I fixed it, not for my grandchildren, but for all the children. What kind of country is this that doesn't invest in its young people?
The records show that the repair of this bridge has been on the state's waiting list since 2022. You didn't remove a hazard, you removed a solution out of pure pride. The $10,000 fine is annulled, and the state has 15 days to build a new bridge, or I will begin fining your department daily.
You're telling this court a police officer was suspended for buying food for a shoplifter?
A police officer was suspended after responding to a shoplifting call at a grocery store. Instead of arresting the woman, he did something unexpected.
When I arrived, she wasn't aggressive or trying to run. She was standing there crying with a small bag of food. She said she knew it was wrong but didn't know what else to do. So instead of charging her, I paid for the groceries myself.
Shoplifting remains a prosecutable offense regardless of motive. By paying for the items and releasing the suspect, the officer bypassed standard legal procedure. The department issued the suspension to enforce accountability.
Store surveillance later confirmed the items totaled less than $15. Witness statements described the woman repeatedly apologizing before the officer intervened.
The law exists to maintain order, but justice also requires judgment. The evidence shows he prevented harm without creating risk to the public. Discipline should not discourage humane discretion in minor circumstances. This court finds the suspension disproportionate.
There are uncomfortable questions we rarely ask. As society make it risky to be a good person, across different cases, individuals step in during moments of danger or desperation, not because they have to, but because it is the right thing to do. But sometimes, the legal system does not see intention. It sees liability. Imagine this. A woman standing at a train station, distracted, eyes glued to her phone. She does not notice the train speed towards her. A security man sees the danger. He reacts instantly. He grabbed her and pushed her back and saved her life. Sound like a hero, right? But what happened shook many. The woman sued him, and in court she won. Think about that. A man who acted in seconds to prevent a tragedy and was legally punished for it. So here's the question. Should helping someone without permission, even to save their life, come with legal consequences? Now, let's look at another case. One that hits people right in the heart. A teenage boy is arrested for working illegal night shifts at gas station. In court, the facts are clear. He falsified documents. He broke labor laws. He worked overnight at just 14 years old. The officer tells the judge Your Honor, child labor exists for a reason. This is dangerous and illegal. The charges are appropriate. Everything sounds straightforward until the judge asks one question, why? And the boy answers, his parents are gone. He has a younger sister. And he lied about his age just to survive, to take care of her sister. Suddenly, this isn't just a legal case anymore. It's a human story. A story about responsibility, sacrifice, and survival. So what matters more? The law or the reason behind breaking it? This is where things get complicated. Laws are created to protect people. But what happens when following the law punishes compassion? When doing good becomes a legal risk? Not every verdict feels right, but not every situation fits neatly inside the law either. Thankfully, there are judges who understand this balance, who look beyond the surface, beyond the paperwork, and see the human being behind the case. So now, we ask you, are some lawsuits really about justice or about money and recognition? Should people who act in good faith be protected by the law? If you are that security man, will you still step in? If you are that judge, what will be your verdict? Because one day, it might be you, faced with the moment where doing nothing is safe, but doing something could change a life. In a world where rules matters, we still have to ask, where does humanity fit in? This is Truth Verdict, where we don't just tell stories, we question them.